So I'm not disappointed in myself for being one of those girls, but I am realising it now, and I think I have a position on social media and as a personal trainer and as a recovered anorexic to make sure that I put out the right message. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Chloe. I'm a model, personal trainer and lifestyle and nutrition coach, and today I want to talk to you about my journey from tracking macros to intuitive eating. I'm not fully intuitive eating yet, but I want to talk to you about how I'm doing it and maybe give you some advice if you're going from a diet or tracking macros or flexible dieting, all that sort of stuff, to intuitive eating, and talk a bit more about what intuitive eating is and the benefits. So if you are new to my channel, please make sure that you subscribe. The button is down below. Like this video if you do enjoy it, and if you've got any questions, just comment them below. I'll always reply, or if you don't want them to be public, just drop me an email, chloetmodel@gmail.com. And if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me at _ChloeInspires_. I sometimes post twice a day, but at least once a day on Instagram, and I always do my stories and stuff, so if you want to keep updated with what I'm doing, then Instagram is definitely the place to go. And on my YouTube channel I post once a week. So let's get this video started. First of all, I just want to talk to you about me and like my journey with where I am with my diet and stuff like that, then it can give you a bit of a background. This is going to be very brief, but so basically I had anorexia nervosa when I was 16. I then recovered, and then I relapsed when I was 19. I recovered, I had lots of amazing support from my family, I had therapy, I saw a dietitian. I was very lucky with the way I was able to recover, purely because we went private, and if we had gone NHS I wouldn't be here today, because the waiting list was, next appointment was 52 days away, which is over 2 months. It's ridiculous. So we had to go private, and I was very fortunate that we were able to do that. So I recovered from anorexia. I went to London to go to university. I went to university when I was in recovery, and I got scouted. So bear in mind that I was underweight, but I was in recovery and I got scouted as a fashion model. So they obviously like the fact that I'm 5'10", I'm tall and I'm skinny. I went along because it's always been my dream to be a model, so I was like, yeah, let's do this. I actually they wanted me to gain weight, because obviously they don't want like an anorexic model, they just want a slim model. So I carried on recovering. I was still seeing my therapist, doing uni, doing a bit of modelling on the side just for a bit of fun. My uni degree was clinical, so didn't really have a lot of time to do modelling. Personal stuff then happened in year 2. I had to go home a lot. I had to defer my uni degree, got scouted by another agency, a better one basically, and became a full-time fashion model. Stopped uni, didn't go back, wanted to pursue modelling. So I'm a fashion model, therefore I need to be a low weight. So I thought, okay, I'll just stay a low weight. I was not anorexic. Now, I know the difference between being anorexic and not, because I've been anorexic. Anorexia is a mental illness. I couldn't even eat things like a banana, because for me it had too many carbs in. I would have like so many fear foods. I couldn't eat out in restaurants this is when I was anorexic. Now when I was a model I could eat out in restaurants, I could obviously eat bananas. I didn't really have any fear foods, but I just kept my calories low. If you wanted to put a label on me, you could call me orthorexic, which means someone who's not obsessed with weight. They don't tend to have a low weight, but they are obsessed with being healthy, eating clean, putting all the best nutrients in their body. They won't eat anything that's like processed because they think they're gonna like die or something. That was probably me when I was a model. But I was earning a really good income, and I guess the success in my modelling career made me think that I was healthy, because I was getting all these jobs, I was doing campaigns, I was doing runway. I'll put pictures on the screen just to give you an idea of like where I was then when I was modelling, or like where I am now. So you can see that I'm very slim. So I just sort of maintained a low weight. I didn't do any sort of like tracking. I didn't really know what my fitness pal was. I didn't really know much about nutrition. I just ate like kind of low calorie. And then, as you guys know, you can watch all my videos and you can hear all about it. My agency told me I was getting too big. I'll put a picture on the screen just to give you an idea when they said this. Obviously I was not, I was still underweight, and I just left because I was like, I can't lose weight. Like, I've got a history of anorexia, they knew that, and this could be a massive trigger for me if I go on a diet or something. I also didn't want to lose weight, I was tiny, and why do I have to be slim to be a model? There are healthier girls. What about fitness models? Why can't I be one of them? But obviously this agency was a fashion agency, so they were like, you need to be skinny, because in their eyes I earned them more money when I was a stick thin girl, really unhealthy, but for me I was like, no. So I left. I had a bit of a crisis. I'll put the thumbnail on the screen and a link below if you guys want to read more about this whole journey and what happened and what they actually said to me and all of that sort of stuff. Then I got a personal trainer. So I was like, I don't want to get a personal trainer in my gym, I want to have a proper personal training studio. And I had a lovely personal trainer, she was really nice, but the only issue was she was a bikini girl. So in my eyes, that's really good, because then she can make me really lean, and she used to be really skinny as well, so she'll be able to help me get really lean. But she obviously used meal plans and she used macros. I didn't really think anything of it, and she gave me a meal plan, she gave me macros and calories to hit, because my goal was to gain weight. I went to this personal trainer like, I want to gain weight, I want to gain muscle, can you help me? I followed this, but I realised after about a month that it was quite obsessional, and you know, you've got to have your protein shake after your workout, and then you've got to have your fast releasing carbs, and you've got to eat these meals, and it's got to be really clean, and a lot of the term like language around food was not that great that she was using with me. Well, if you eat this then you can just reduce your whatever the next day, and it was very, I don't know, I don't think it was really the healthiest of approaches. I then did a nutrition course and realised that my macros were like just a bit ridiculous, and she'd had me on very high protein. I was just not really happy. So I went to another company, the company that I did the nutrition course with, and asked if I could get a personal trainer with them. Luckily my pack was coming to an end with her. I'd done 3 months, 12 weeks, and I saw her twice a week. Went to a new guy at this other company, which he was great, and I think because he was a man, I don't know if it was because he was a man, but he just wasn't so obsessed with like numbers and macros. Because I'd been with this girl for 3 months and I'd been tracking on MyFitnessPal every single day, I kind of just continued even with him, and he didn't tell me not to, but he was like, you don't need to. You just need to eat more, and we'll weigh you every week, and if your weight goes down or stays the same then you just need to add a handful of nuts a day, kind of thing. So he was very chilled and very much enjoy life, have fun, and don't think too much about all this sort of like obsession. But I think it had just become very ingrained in me. So this was July I started last year, 2016. I finished with this guy December. So yeah, July to December I was basically tracking that whole time. I then did my own personal training course and I became a personal trainer. Don't get me wrong, I think tracking is wonderful. It taught me so much about food, and it made me realise I wasn't eating enough, and it did make me eat foods that I didn't allow myself when I was like an orthorexic model. In that sense it was good because I was doing flexible tracking, but being in a bulk it is quite difficult, but I'll come on to that in a minute. So I did my personal training course. With my clients now who tend to come to me for weight loss, I do use macros and some of the weight gain ones. But my goal now, I make very clear at the beginning, is I want them to track, but only for a short period. And I make sure by the time they finish with me, they've deleted MyFitnessPal, they know how to maintain their weight without tracking, they know how to maintain their weight without weighing everything, and they can kind of live intuitively, because I don't want any of my clients to have what I've had to go through, which is where a lot of people when they're in it don't realise it. So when I was in it, I was like, yeah, tracking's the best, and flexible dieting, and I can eat a chocolate bar because it fits into my macros. But macros, you lose so much like in touch with your body. You don't honour your hunger at all. When you're tracking, you can eat when you're hungry. But then what happens when you get to the end of the day and you're hungry and you've already hit your macros? You can't eat. What happens if you're bulking, like me, where you're eating so many calories and so much food and you're absolutely stuffed, and it gets to the end of the day and you're like, damn, I've got 200 calories worth of protein and fat, I've got to go and make myself eat. It's just so unnatural. Just think of like caveman times, and even back in the 50s, First World War and those times. Can you imagine them tracking their food, scanning their food and calculating it all and being, oh, I've got to eat 300 calories more of protein. Looking back, and I know some people watching this might be you now, and like I'm not taking the mick or anything like that, because I definitely did that and I was definitely that person. Just know that it's not healthy and it is a diet, and you'll get people, tracking macros is not a diet, it's flexible, I eat cookies. Just because you eat cookies doesn't mean that it's not a diet. It is a diet because you're not listening to your body, you're not giving it what it needs, you're following a set of numbers. It is strict, even if you're bulking like on a lot of calories, that is strict because you're following numbers, and it can become very obsessional. Now for someone who's coming from a background of anorexia, it's even worse. So this tracking was just another form of control for me. Definitely was not anorexic, trust me, because I would drink alcohol, I would eat cake and stuff like that, and when I was anorexic I was not doing any of that. I was obviously like weight training as well and lifting at a lot of weight and I was eating a hell of a lot of calories, which I was not when I was anorexic. But it's definitely not healthy and it's definitely a diet. And also, if you're watching this and you're not tracking, but maybe you're on Weight Watchers or Slimming World or anything like that, and you're just interested in intuitive eating, then stay tuned because I'm going to go more into that. But that was my kind of journey. So I deleted my fitness pal about 4 months ago, and I started intermittent fasting. This was great at the beginning because I was like, yeah, I have 3 massive meals. I love my food, so it was really good. But then I sort of, because of tracking in my head, I haven't eaten enough today. I know that even though I've had these 3 big meals, I haven't had enough protein. So then I'd like go and have a protein shake when I wasn't hungry. And it also led to me to binge eat because I think that massive gap in the morning made me, for some reason it made me binge, and in the evenings I just end up eating so much food, feel really sick, feel really bloated. It wasn't severe binge eating and it wasn't every day, and I know some of you watching this might have binge eating disorder, but it wasn't that. It was more mindless eating, like going down to the kitchen and just eating, okay, I've not hit enough calories, just like stuffing my face, feeling really guilty and like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, and I was just not happy. And then I went on holiday with my friend Abby, and it was the best 8 days because there was no kitchen scales, no Wi-Fi, not many like nutrition labels on the food. We were eating out a lot, we were hiking and like eating the fresh bread rolls, which you have no idea what are in them. I just intuitively ate, didn't realise I was doing it, but like eating when I was hungry, enjoying the food, stopping when I was full and fueling my hikes. I just loved it. Came home and everything went back to how it was before, so the weighing food, I was still conscious of what I was eating, like got to get the protein in, got to get the carbs in, got to eat my pre-workout meal, my post-workout meal, can't have like something because I've had something else, this kind of thing. I just had enough, don't want to do this anymore, and then I discovered intuitive eating through Laura Thompson. I've been listening to Laura Thompson's podcast for ages, put her link below, but I definitely recommend her podcast. Through her, I then bought this book, not through her, but she recommended it. So I definitely recommend, if you're interested in intuitive eating, to buy this book. It's Intuitive Eating by Evelyn Tribole and Else Rest. I don't know if I've been saying that right, but I will put the link in the description box. And it says, make peace with your food, free yourself from chronic dieting forever, rediscover the pleasures of eating. Revolutionary program that works. Oh yeah, make sure you buy the 3rd edition. Newly revised edition also includes new chapters on how to raise an intuitive eater from infancy to adolescence and the science behind intuitive eating. Definitely recommend the book. Another person I've been listening to literally every single day, and I highly recommend her podcast as well, Food Psych Podcast by Christy Harrison. That's her podcast. Definitely recommend it. She's got so much stuff on there that's really good. And the other one is Nutrition Matters by Paige Smathers. And then to just my favourite ones at the moment, Reclaiming You by Sarah Vance. Telling the truth about diet culture, health at every size, the myths around dieting and weight control, redefining the fitness ideal for all sizes. There's loads on there. So those ones and Laura Thompson I recommend. So I'm just going to read to you the 10 principles because I want you guys to just kind of understand what intuitive eating is before you start. So the 10 principles are: number 1, reject the diet mentality. Number 2, honour your hunger. Number 3, make peace with food. Number 4, challenge the food police. Number 5, feel your fullness. Number 6, discover the satisfaction factor. Number 7, cope with your emotions without using food. Number 8, respect your body. Number 9, exercise, feel the difference. And number 10, honour your health, gentle nutrition. And obviously it goes into like all of the principles in there and a guide and everything. It's really important that you understand what intuitive eating is before you go into it. It's not easy, so that's the whole point of this video. I just want to talk to you about my journey so far and how I've been doing it and how I've been finding it. So I've made sure that I've unfollowed loads of people on Instagram. That was the first thing I did. Anyone who just posts like purely health foods all the time, that's all they post. Like protein pancake, brownies made out of dates, porridge bowls, and that's it, with like pretty food everywhere. That just made me feel guilty for anything that I ate that wasn't perfect or really, really healthy. Unfollowed all of them. I unfollowed loads of people who just post pictures of their abs and their bums. Yeah, I have posted pictures of my bums and my abs, not going to lie, but I don't put it in every single post. I always give a value in my captions and I always try and inspire people, motivate them or educate them. Unfollowed loads of people. Then followed loads of people who are registered dietitian, intuitive eaters, people recovering from orthorexia, body positive people, fat positive people as well, girls in much bigger bodies than me who are people who should be representing body positive. Health at every size. Well, I've been following hashtags like balance not clean, nourish not punish, healthy not skinny, all these sort of things. And I've been researching intuitive eating, I've been researching health at every size, I've been researching fat phobia, which has been really interesting for me. And it's just amazing because it's made me realise on Instagram, you feel pressured sometimes and people really influence you. Oh, and also YouTube videos. I've not been watching any of fitness girls, I've not been watching anyone who eats super healthy, I've been watching girls who recovered from binge eating disorders, girls who are not orthorexic and don't eat just healthy stuff all the time. Obviously, if you look back on my videos, I was that, and that's what I'm saying, that I'm changing now and I'm moving, and that's totally fine, and it's totally fine for you to change your ways, and it's totally normal and healthy, and it's actually a massive thing for me to admit that and be proud of the fact that I've realised that and that I'm changing. So I'm not disappointed in myself for being one of those girls, but I am realising it now, and I think I have a position on social media and as a personal trainer and as a recovered anorexic to make sure that I put out the right message. And I don't want to be fat phobic, and I do think that a lot of society, including my family, are fat phobic, and I don't want to be one of those people because I've been in a slim body, like emaciated, like a skeleton body, and I felt people staring at me and looking at me in weird ways and all of that, and I can't even imagine what it's like for fat people. That's something I'm really learning about myself. But going back to intuitive eating, what I've first been doing is really honouring my hunger, which has been really nice to do, and stopping when I'm full, and no distractions when I'm eating is what's helped me do this. So no phone, no laptop, no book, no magazine, and no TV. I've sometimes had the radio on in the background, just like music, not talking, and that has been so hard. I found breakfast and lunch quite easy because it's daylight, and it gets dark now at like 8 o'clock, which is normally around the time I have dinner, and I'm sitting inside because I can't sit outside or anything, can't look at the garden. I'm looking at a wall, well, not a wall, but like the kitchen. I have found that quite hard, and I have a couple of times watched TV. I've been brought up to watch TV when we have dinner. We always watch the news when we're having dinner, so it's weird, and my parents do as well. They watch TV when having dinner. But one thing I've really noticed is I was eating way too much. I've been getting full halfway through my breakfast, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't eat anymore. And that's scary, because I think before I was just, yeah, gotta eat it because I've made it. Now I don't throw it in the bin, I put it in the fridge, or if it's something that's cereal, I just put cling film over it and have it later when I'm hungry. So that's been one of the first few things that I've been trying to do. Also, I've actually been reducing the size of my dinner because I was having some really big salads, so I've been trying to reduce the salad size and have more food. A salad is like a lot of water. That's been really good. And I've also been really testing the food police. So let's take, for example, last night I had, you know, the Heinz macaroni tins. I'll put a picture on the screen. I was in the supermarket and I looked at the back, I looked at the nutrition table, and I was like, oh, this is not very healthy, and it's really high in carbs for the amount that's in there. It's quite high in fat for the amount that's in there. And I was like, Chloe, do you want this? And I was like, yes, I do. Have it. So I bought it. You guys see in my diet on this channel, I eat a lot of fruit and veg. I exercise every day. Also, I'm testing this whole what if I get fat thing. What if I do put on weight? Really? What does skinny... I think you guys need to ask yourself as well, like, what does skinny and being slim and being lean mean to you? Why do you feel you need to do it? What do you think being skinny and being lean gonna give to you? And when I really questioned myself on this, I was like, I don't actually know. And I know for a fact being skinny does not bring you happiness. In fact, when I was my lowest weight, maybe not anorexic, but like as a model, it was the most unhappy I've ever been, and I didn't like being slim at all. And I know people who have been very lean and been bikini competitors, and they've hated it too. Both extremes, you lose your period, which is a obvious sign that it's not normal and it's not natural. And you get one life, and I think a lot of people forget this because they don't like thinking about death. You get one life, and you also have no idea when it's going to end. It could be gone tomorrow. You could be in your car, stationary. Someone could drive straight into you and you're dead. That's it. You could be walking down the street and a bus comes along and swerves and hits you and you're dead. I know it's awful to think, but that could happen to you. Just think, if that did happen to me, and I would have wasted all of this time obsessing about food, obsessing about whatever. And I know if you're watching this house and you've got a laptop or an iPhone and you've got a YouTube account, then you are probably privileged. You're definitely not in poverty and you can afford food. Make the most of it. There's people who are in such poverty in the UK as well, and they can't afford to be thinking about, can I really have this Heinz spaghetti macaroni cheese because it has too many carbs in it? I was one of those people, so I'm actually being rude to myself and I'm criticising myself. Really question what you're really scared about putting on a little bit of weight, and do you really think that a little bit of fat or maybe a lot of fat is going to make you a bad person? And if you're watching this and going, yeah, but I just want to be healthy, Chloe, that's not healthy. When you're just eating non-processed foods and you're obsessing about food all the time, and it can cause you to binge eat, and you have your binge eat basically is a cheat day or a cheat meal. That is binge eating because you're saving all this food up and then you're going and binging basically. That is binge eating. Just really question your beliefs, and that's what I've been doing. And a lot of you watching this are not in touch with your body, because if you're tracking or you're on a diet, you've completely, or been on diets for years, you've completely lost touch with your intuition to do with your body and giving it what it needs. You've only got one life, and your body is what gives you life. I think also because I've been anorexic, I've wasted a lot of years of not being able to enjoy food, and I just kind of now I've got to a point where I just want to live. I'm really sick and tired of diet culture and seeing things everywhere. And Instagram wasn't around when I got anorexia, but I put it down to all the health magazines I used to read. I just think I'd hate to be young now with like Instagram and YouTube. Yeah, it makes me not want to have children because I'm just so scared for them. I also totally agree with you when you're going to tell me that the gym is great for my mental health. Totally agree, it's really helped me and it's the reason I always go to the gym. But what you're doing in the gym, is it for aesthetic reasons, or is it because you enjoy it? Because when you're just going to the gym and it's just about look, it's just so surface level stuff. Just enjoy life, and I'd really recommend researching anti-diet, health at every side, and intuitive eating, and checking out Christy Harrison's Instagram, and Paige Smathers as well. It will really open your eyes. You are on Instagram and YouTube and stuff, and you're looking at food all the time, and it's on your feed, and these bodies, it's going to be in your head all the time. And when you're dieting, all you're thinking about is food all the time. And I want to think about food all the time. That's what I had to do when I was anorexic. That's where I am so far. I hope this video was insightful. If you've got any questions about anything, then obviously comment below. I love hearing your feedback. Email me, follow me on Instagram at _ChloeInspires_. My website is www.chloeinspires.com. I am taking clients at the moment, but just please be aware that I am not promoting weight loss, in the sense that I am promoting I'll work with you and make sure that you are living a healthy lifestyle. But weight loss probably will be a side effect of that, but I'm not focusing so much on weight loss. With my clients, I don't even use scales anyway, never have done. I hate scales. I use measurements and pictures, but I'm going to be working more with my clients about how they're feeling, about respecting their body, loving themselves before they start anything too extreme. I do like to use my fitness power with my clients at the beginning, especially when they're really overweight, or I'm working with a client at the moment who's come from Slimming World and I want her to realise how horrific Slimming World is. So I've made her track when she was on it and then how she should be eating, and it's really taught her a lot. But just be aware that if you come to me, I will not be one of those coaches who gives you a meal plan, gives you macros, that's it, goodbye, check in with you once a week. I'm not doing that. Just be careful, like if you don't want to work with someone, if you want someone like that who's extreme, then go to them, but I'm not into that anymore. I don't want to be part of it. I don't want to be promoting it. It's not in line with me, and it's just me out that I've got people who are watching me who are recovered from an eating disorder, and then I'm promoting like weight loss. Anyway, I'm blabbing now, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was insightful. I kind of just want to share my journey with you and where I am at the moment. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye!